Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whatever time of day it is. Thank you for tuning in to Conversations with Dr. Don. The show is produced and broadcast from the Portland, Oregon metropolitan area. And for your first-time viewers, Conversations with Dr. Don is an ongoing series of one-hour standalone talk shows where I interview interesting people like most of you out there about who they are as unique, one-of-a-kind individuals and whatever it is that we're going to talk about tonight. We'll be talking about Nichiren's path to enlightenment. As you can guess, my guest this evening is Nichiren. And Nichiren Geron Flowers, whose nickname is Flex. And he said I should have had that on the credits, but we're going to have it on your email address so people will know how to talk to you when they email you, okay? So the show will go in two major parts. The first part is what I call the bio part, where we talk about who you are, so people have an idea where you're coming from when you talk about things that ever comes to mind. The second part of the show. So, how you feeling right now?
I'm feeling good.
All right, what a firm grip.
Yeah, feeling good.
So, you ready? When and where were you born?
I was. Let's go. I was born on Earth, I believe. Well, actually, we'll predate that. I was born. Let's say I was born in the minds of my mother and father. Right? How about that answer? That's where I was born. That's where I was born.
So you were born in their minds.
Right.
Yeah. You know how that happened? They had the same thought about having a son, and you are that son.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I'll go back that far. That sounds about right.
That's kind of far back.
Born. Yeah.
Why were you born, Flex?
To spread love, right? That's what. Yeah, that was.
I was too. Among other things, you bet.
Yeah.
That's what. For me, that's what it's all about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And anything significant about your racial or national or cultural heritage? Anything comes to mind for you? I want to ask you that question.
Yeah, definitely something significant. I feel like I'm, in the culmination of a lot of different things.
Sure.
I'm just on completely different level of thinking, I guess, when it comes to like, what'd you say, race, nationality, and cultural heritage and things like that.
Yeah.
That's actually the stuff I'm kind of looking into, I'm 32 now, and I still don't have a firm grip on like my roots and ancestry. So that's something I'm actually into.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
How long you been doing that, looking into that? Roughly?
I guess your whole life is a search, but, more thoroughly, I'd say, in the last few years.
Few years.
Just researching different stuff. Getting a little bit deeper into my grandparents and where they were from, and just trying to see what I'm made of.
What I'm made of. So, any thoughts come to mind of what you've learned so far in your search or looking at who you are and where you came from? You mentioned your grandparents.
Yes. So my dad's side of the family, I wasn't really close with them, right? Kind of met most of them. I actually have a lot of family on that side, but I met most of them. I was in about 6th grade. But I grew up with my mom's side. I got 2 older sisters, older brother. So family's pretty important. But just knowing my roots, I've never really got too deep as far as like great grandmother, I haven't got that deep into
I know
my
very
ancestry.
little about that about myself too.
Right.
Yeah. As I go back, my mom and dad, of course, I'm the 12th child, so I had a whole bunch of brothers and sisters before me, but I didn't get to talk to Mama and Papa too much about past history and like that.
Right.
But I'm comfortable with what I've learned so far about where I came from, that way, But I have a couple of daughters. I have 5 daughters in my first marriage, who spend a lot of time doing that kind of research and ancestry and stuff. And
Right.
whenever they send me new information, I say, that's okay, you keep it. I don't care to learn anymore. I've learned too much already about that.
Right.
So culturally, before the camera started rolling, I think the question came up, whether it was direct or not, about black. And you said something like, I'm not just black.
Well, not just. I don't consider myself black
Uh-huh.
in the sense of limited to a color, right? I think that's technically, you know what I mean? Black is it's if you look in the legal sense of it, right? Kind of been looking into a lot of different things, you know, like labels and,
Sure.
you know, things that you just don't want to be considered, I guess. Right.
You aware of any red or white part of your heritage, racially? I know that's a construct, race.
Yeah. See all these. See, that's what I mean. Like red or white. Like these are all colors. You know.
Yeah.
Red, black, white. These are all colors. Colors are, you know, I don't know what word you want to use there, but colors are can be a lot of different things depending on what book you're looking in for definitions.
Sure.
Right. So I like to be careful with what I consider myself and how I speak and the way I go about, you know, carrying myself in the public, especially, you know, and
Yeah.
just a lot you have to keep in consideration, you know. A lot of people aren't, you know, up to speed.
Yeah. I found it necessary for me after all these years, because I'm 88 in December. I ignored that kind of a question. And then I found as time has gone by, I need to have some sort of idea of where I came from in those terms. Because occasionally I'm talking to somebody or a group, and that subject comes up, even though it's out of date.
Right.
So I see myself personally, racially, as red, white, and black. Culturally, I'm like the average American white bread, for example. I don't speak in ghettoese or black dialect. Of course, I see myself as black, white, and red racially. So culturally, and I was born and raised in New Orleans.
It's only one race though, right?
Which one is that?
The human race.
You got it.
You know what I mean? Ultimately that's what it comes down to, you know. So all these races and all that's division, you know, that's what we got to get away from in my eyes. That's my view on things, right?
You bet.
With all that divide and, you know what I'm saying, but divide and conquer, right? I'm sure everyone's heard that. I think just the labels are all labels, you know. Until we get rid of that and understand that we're all one people, you know, we're just humans, right? Human, colored individuals.
Okay.
You know, so that's my thoughts about that.
Religion. Do you have a religion you belong to at all?
Belong to?
Did you claim yourself to be a Christian, a Muslim, or a Buddhist, or what?
I was raised in a like Baptist church, so you know I have a personal relationship with God, I guess you can say. Sure. On a religious like standpoint, right? But you know, it all depends on where you want to. What venue you're in, right? Since we're in a public venue, you know, like yes, I grew up in the church, you know, so I still go to church. You know, am I religious? You know, do I do it religiously? Like that's another word that's, you know, you have to be careful how you do that. You know, I don't know. I don't know. I don't really know. You know, if I'm religious, you know, I guess you can say I do things religiously. Yeah. You know, does that entail going to church? No. You know, I miss Sundays. You know, I'm not like, you know. So I guess it's the depth you want to go to on that question, right? I don't know.
We go to the depth you want to go.
Right. However, I mean, we can go. You know, however deep you want to question it. I don't. You know, I can only be so thorough with it. You know, and
yeah. Occasionally, if it's for academic interest, I guess, I can talk about religion and religions, but beyond that, very simply, I was a Roman Catholic altar boy for years. And as time went by, I discovered that didn't fit for me. I wasn't comfortable calling myself following all that ritual.
Right.
And I became an agnostic, skeptic. And I don't like to say atheist because when people hear that, they get a thumbs down.
Right.
It's okay to be an atheist, not having a belief in God. So, I
Yes, no. I actually believe in that all things come from the one single thing, right? And there's a commonality in a lot of different things. So religion, there's a lot of commonalities in it. You know what I mean? Amongst the different religions you see, there's too many things that are similar. You know what I mean, about all these different things, right? It's like there's more than one way up the mountain is a term I like to use, right? It's what works for you, you know? As long as you're in the perspective of loving other people and helping others and trying to do for others what you want done for yourself, then we'll be all right, you know?
That's what each one of these religions are about. It's how they go about the steps along the way to do what we're talking about right now.
Right.
To be loving of one another. But sometimes
But you have to be loving of self first, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And because a person doesn't love themselves appropriately, then they find they're doing things to other human beings rather than loving them.
Do you feel like you learn how to love yourself in those settings? You think that's something that's...
Wow. As time has gone by, and I can say that because I'm old, I've learned a lot, and a lot of important stuff I don't remember at the moment, because what it's done for me, what my learning is, my behavior today, hopefully, more often than not, is kind, is loving. And be kind to people,
to
yeah.
even unkind people that need it most.
I've learned, and I have some regrets of things I've done before, but no time to waste on regrets anymore. Just be nice every moment I can.
Regrets. That's a big word right there.
You betcha.
What's your if you could tell me anything right now about regret, what would it be? I have a lot of stuff I want to accomplish, you know, especially now, like, you know, in the immediate future. So I need some advice, man.
What do you want to accomplish?
What don't I want to accomplish? As much as I can in this lifetime. You know, life isn't guaranteed, right? Death isn't patient. You know, we're only here for a moment. So.
You're pretty young to ask you this question, but do you have a bucket list?
Not a thorough one, not one that I've actually written down. That's my new I guess theme I'm on, writing stuff down. I need to write it down, manifest it, right, in the physical. I need to write it down. That's what I've been on lately. So I'm trying to write more things down that I want to accomplish. Try to make it happen a little bit more.
Any thoughts come to mind about one or two things you want to accomplish before they plant you in the ground?
Yeah, a business structure, something that I can pass on to my son. I have a son who'll be 5 in June, so you know, something I can leave for him. That's enough right there, you know. If I could.
Does he like you?
Does he like me?
Yeah.
Wow, I don't know.
Yes,
You'd have to ask them. You'd have to ask him that question. You know what I mean?
You know.
Does he like me? I'd say he loves me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if he'd even know what that term meant towards his father. You know, like our relationship is very good.
What does he call you?
Dad, Daddy. Yeah. So, you know, it's great.
You still got a wife?
No. Never had a wife.
Okay.
Never been married.
Where's your son now?
He lives in Boise, Idaho.
How often you see him?
As often as possible. See him every day on Skype, you know.
On Skype?
It's not as personable as I want it to be, right? But
yeah,
for now, it's what it is.
You talk to him fairly often?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, we keep in contact.
You're going to marry somebody in the future?
Whew, that's a good question, man. Ooh, man.
I'm loaded with them, man.
I don't know. You know, you never know.
Yeah.
Never know about the future. I try not to live in the future and live in the present. That's my another theme, I guess.
You bet. You bet.
Yeah, living in the future, you know, creates anxiety, right?
Yeah.
Anticipation for things unknown. So, try to stay relevant, stay current, stay planted right here.
In the moment.
Yeah.
Is there anything of interest in your education or your formal education or your education in life? Any thoughts come to that question?
Education.
Yeah. I had formal education and I learned a lot other ways too.
Yeah. Education, I think, education is predicated on the individual and how much you're willing to grow personally. You know what I mean? I don't think education is anything that can be understood by anyone else in that body or that mind frame. It's like, what is education? You know, life is education. If you're living, you're learning, right? But it's about what level you want to go, how much you're willing to pay attention, I guess. You know, recently I've kind of been paying a bit more attention. You know. Trying to increase my understanding of everything, you know, trying to educate myself on so many different levels that sometimes it becomes overwhelming, you know what I mean? Then you start learning certain things, you go to certain depths and you're like, let me start learning about something else. There's just so much to learn, you know.
Oh my God.
It's just about what you want to pay attention to is what I'm coming to the conclusion of. And what I want to pay attention to is growing personally, you know, building a business structure that I can leave for my son, you know, learning as much as I can as far as health and wellness to help everyone I can. I have a lot of people who have helped me out in my lifetime, a lot of loved ones, a lot of relatives who suffer from all types of ailments. So if I could do anything in the world, it'd be to attain enough knowledge to be able to help them in any capacity.
Name one or two people who helped you out in your lifetime that gave you significant help.
My mother.
What did you call her?
Mom? Yeah, Mom.
Where is she now?
She's in San Diego.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
How often you see her?
Whenever I go back to California, I don't know. You know, I can't put no frequency on. I see her as much as possible, I guess.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be one.
You mentioned brothers and sisters.
You
have some of those?
Yeah, I got a lot. On my mom's side, I got 2 sisters and a brother. On my dad's side, I have about 7 brothers and sisters.
A whole bunch.
Yeah, 2 sisters, 5 brothers.
How often do you see them?
They're all in California. Everybody's in California. Fresno, Tulare, Sanger, San Diego, all down the valley.
Why'd you move up here?
For some change, transition. I like nature. I like trees. I like hiking. I like the outdoors. You know, I like water. So I like the rain. You know, what better place? You know, I got family here, so you know, I like it. I like, you know, I'm pretty chill. I'm pretty relaxed. I'm still, you know, trying to be tuned in to what's going on outside of.
How long you been up here in Portland?
For a few months, a couple months.
You're not ready to go back to California?
I'm good anywhere. You know, I'm ready to explore still. You know, I'm not settled, but it'll work for now. Yeah.
I see I'm trying to set you up here. Are you ready to fall in love with somebody?
That's a tough question, man. I don't know.
You better.
Will you ever know, right? I guess when it hits you, it hits you. You know, I'm trying to open myself up to that, right? I'm a little more tuned in to what I want and what it is I'm attracted to, and I kind of know what attraction is now, and I have an appreciation for the whole female, you know, on a deeper level now, you know, than I had when I was younger, of course, right? But that comes with age, so, you know, with that being said, I'm I'm not in a rush, but I'm open. So.
Look in that camera right there and tell her who you're looking for. What kind of mate you're gonna hook up with.
What kind of mate?
Tell her. She's good.
Conscious. Somebody who reads, beautiful, intelligent, in all types of ways, and just I don't know. Someone who likes poetry, jazz music, simple things. Natural. You know what I mean? Someone who's trying to change and get out the everyday grind and move out to the woods by the water, build some cabin and tree house and live out in nature and become autonomous and start a whole culture, a whole new city, man, like something, I don't know.
You mentioned that you write a little poetry. Didn't you mention that?
Yeah.
When are you going to show me some?
I told you a little bit at the gym.
Okay.
I already let you know a little bit of what I got, but I got a lot of different stuff, Yeah, a lot going on in his head. I try to get it out in different ways, so.
Yeah, I'd like to see what you put on paper. Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoy my poetry. Sometimes I go for a long time and don't write anything, and then suddenly I get a rush, and I'll do maybe 2 or 3 things in 3 or 4 months,
Yeah.
It varies depending on how I feel.
Yeah. You got a background in what? Poetry, music, anything? What'd you do?
I got a doctorate in clinical psychology.
So you analyze me. Where am I at right now in this?
I've learned the first thing you learn as you become a shrink is put that hat aside. Because then this deprives me of meeting to you person to person, mano a mano.
Right.
If you're worried about my analyzing you.
Yeah.
Because I get paid for that. I don't do that for free.
Yeah.
But I went to school. I'm still in school. I have student ID card for Portland State University and Portland Community College because I still take courses. I'll never stop taking courses, man.
Nice.
I love it. Keep learning.
Yeah.
So be on the lookout because there'll be some sweet lady's gonna email you and say, Flex, I'm available, let me know. Now, do you come here to work at that health club? Is that why you came?
Partly, since I've been out here, I had that job. That was a good reason to move out here, some steady income for the meantime while I'm in transition, so yeah, partly. I love fitness, so I love helping people. That was the biggest thing for me about that job. It's at a health club. It's a great place to be. I enjoy it. I get to meet a lot of people, and it's a good place to be.
And it's fun for me because I find I got to be careful because when I go to the gym, I like to talk and visit so much until I don't get enough workout in. So I got to kind of censor myself and say, that's enough. Hit the machine or hit the weights or something because I like visiting with people. People are interesting.
Yeah. A lot of interesting people, a lot of interesting entities. Yeah.
Do you vote?
Do I vote?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever voted.
Uh-huh.
I don't think so. No.
When you going to start voting?
When am I going to start?
Yeah.
It's a good question. I don't know. I don't know if I ever will vote.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't, have never been that. I don't feel like my vote will change anything.
Well, it takes a lot of individuals who think about that, and then they think about, well, a lot of individuals get together and they have an opinion that is heard if enough of them agree. So it got to start individual. And I'm acting like a parent right now.
Yeah.
You got to learn enough to do some voting here to be sure we have somebody who's going to guide us in a healthier direction than we're going right now.
Who is we? When you say guide us, and who the person we're voting for and guiding us, and that's an interesting question, because who guides you? Who's the one that should be guiding you in your everyday life? Is it the president, or
all of the above?
Or is there some, you know what I mean?
Most people who are making decisions that's going to affect me and my babies and my life.
Should be you.
It is me, indirectly.
Right.
Because this guy who is, for example, who is the president, is going to be making decisions. If you work it out.
You said that is you indirectly. I mean, if you're speaking in the sense of, you know, amalgamation, I guess, and being one with everyone, then I guess you are the president. You know, so why would you need to vote? If you're one with everyone, does it matter what president gets elected?
It does matter, because if I don't vote, and enough of us don't vote, enough of the ordinary citizens don't vote, then this guy who's the president, who said that he's supposed to be in charge of living and arranging a decent life for me? That's
but does the president do that?
He does.
And what?
He guides the functioning of the government.
He can't really change any of the Constitution, though, right?
He gets together with the legislatures, the Senate and the House, and they...
It's my understanding, you know, and I might be wrong, you know. I'm just under the impression that the president doesn't have that much, you know. I mean, he can't... I mean, I have a lot of respect for, you know what I mean, what's going on and everything, but I just don't vote, you know. I just have certain feelings about who's in control and who should be, you know, running your life, right? You know, I don't want everybody to go out and be like, oh, I'm not voting. You know what I mean? I'll just keep that to myself. Well, since you asked, you know, I just don't vote.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
I'd vote for myself if I ran for president.
I'd vote for you.
You know, maybe I should do that. Maybe I should run for president. Yeah. You know, vote.
Register to vote and write your name in. When you say
that's a good idea.
You don't want to vote for Trump, or Hillary, or Bernie. I'm voting for Bernie.
You voting for Bernie?
Bernie Sanders, yeah.
Why are you voting for Bernie Sanders?
Because I think he's going to have ideas that are better off for ordinary citizens and people like me.
You're an ordinary citizen?
I'm an ordinary citizen. I'm not a right-winger or extremist either way. And the legislation that they pass is going to affect my life.
What type of ordinary citizen are you? That's interesting. That's an interesting word. You know, that citizen word is interesting as well.
What I meant by that was that I'm not an extreme left-winger or an extreme right-winger. I'm an ordinary citizen. I'm not the ruling elite. I'm not the dirt poor, thank goodness. I'm kind of an ordinary citizen. So I want to be sure that the government is running.
Are they different? Are they different? Are there different citizens? Like, so you said the ruling elite or the dirt poor. Are those all different types of citizens, or what do you mean? Isn't there just one citizen?
When I look at it on economics and money, there's a world of difference. The people with all the money control things,
But they're not. But they're all citizens, though, right?
Oh yes. But they're not ordinary citizens. They're wealthy citizens, powerful citizens.
That's what I want to be. I want to be wealthy, you know? But what is wealth? Wealth comes from knowledge and understanding.
Yeah.
You can't be ignorant and wealthy. Those two don't mix.
I'm going to ask you one more question, and then we're going to take a break, and then we'll come back and talk about these other things. Think about in your life so far if there's maybe one or two people who you look up to or admire. Any names come to mind other than your mom?
That's tough. I got a lot of people I admire and look up to. You know, I can't really single it out right now.
Yeah.
So many people have influenced me, you know. It's kind of hard to limit it to just one person, you know. So many people come to mind.
Oh,
had a lot of family support, you know. Grew up single parent household, so you know there's a lot of relatives, a lot of people I grew up with. That was a good thing about growing in a small city. I had a lot of family there, so you know a lot of people come to mind when you say that.
Any particular family member that was especially kind to you or treated you like you were special?
They all did, you know. That's what I had growing up. But it's like now it's like to the point where families have been dispersed, you know what I'm saying? There's not that same dynamic anymore, you know what I'm saying? And then that's what I'm, you know, wanting, right? That's what I want to create. That's the type of environment I want to have and be in, you know what I mean? So when I say like find a woman and move to the creek and build and grow, you know, I want to be, you know, pray that I can, you know, be full of gray one day. You know, I got a little bit up here, but
Yeah,
you know,
it's starting to come out.
I want to, you know, live long enough to have, you know, all this, you know, and you know, a whole tribe or clan.
And when they think about you, they'll smile.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Mixed.
Leave good memories behind you.
Of course. Yeah.
So let's take a break now for a couple of minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about the other things in the title of this show. We'll get more deeply into what's going on, okay?
All right.
Okay, Mr. Director, let's take a break. Okay, we're back. Thanks for staying tuned. And for you viewers who missed the opening of the show, Conversations with Dr. Don is an ongoing series of one-hour standalone talk shows where I interview interesting people, like most of you out there, about who they are as unique, one-of-a-kind individuals, and about whatever it is we've decided to talk about tonight. And my guest and I had a good time just wandering all over the place. And now we're going to talk about Nichiren's path to enlightenment, Flex's path to enlightenment. Okay, I'm going to start with a couple of questions. I want to ask you about what you're wearing around your neck. Can I ask you about those?
These here? Sure.
Which one are you going to talk about first?
Which one you want to know about first?
That one in your hand.
This one here?
Yeah. That's an ankh?
Yeah, I believe it's an ankh.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Are you a Buddhist?
Buddhist? Am I a Buddhist?
Yeah.
No, I'm not anything. I am I.
Uh-huh.
You know, I am that I am, I guess you would say.
How'd you get that ankh? Where'd you get it from?
About the south. I got it out in California, the coast.
Why do you wear it? What's significant about it for you?
Symbolic of, you know, I guess,
What's it a
creation.
symbol of? What's it a symbol of?
Life in general,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Just for me, it just, you know, it's a reflection and an appreciation of life and growth in itself and oneness, you know, dualistic nature, you know, understanding and, you know, I don't know, it has a lot of different meanings, you know.
Of course.
There's so many levels to it.
Yeah. What about the other thing you've got with the beads and stuff on it? That's handsome.
This here is a medicine bag. So, yeah, I love it, man. My mom actually made it for me.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, it's got some herbs and different things going on in here to ward off the evil spirits, man. Keep me safe. Yeah, keep me protected. So.
Is it working?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm still here, you know, unless, you know, it's working.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works. Yeah.
What is an enlightenment? What is enlightenment? What does that mean for you? You chose that word And I was wondering what you meant by it, enlightenment.
Enlightenment. It's what life is about. You know, enlightenment is to become brighter, right? The closer you get to the sun, the brighter you get. Like you're going to be enlightened, right? To light something, right? On fire, it becomes hotter, right? To increase. You know, understanding, overstanding, understanding, right? Just overall growth.
Okay. So is there some point in time when you can say, I think I'm enlightened?
Never.
Okay.
Not until you going towards the light. When you're going towards the light,
It's
then
going to
you'll
be a while before you do that.
Then you'll be. That's the completion, right? Of that's when you hear people going. Yeah, I guess that'd be my thought process. I don't know. You know, that's the ultimate enlightenment.
The path to enlightenment. What is the path to enlightenment? You going to say a few words about that?
The path to enlightenment is like any trail, climbing, you know, mountains, right? It's never smooth. Right. A lot of ups and downs, like a sine wave, right? Mm-hmm. Peaks and valleys, right? Yeah, it's about trying to find that middle ground.
Is it kind of a journey?
Right.
Is it kind of a journey?
Yeah, yeah.
Path to enlightenment.
Is it kind of a journey?
Yeah.
What do you mean kind of? It is a journey, right? Wouldn't you say?
Okay.
Would you think your life has been a journey, or has it been? What is a journey? What do you mean by a journey? I guess.
I was curious about what you thought. You talked about journey, and I was wondering about what that meant for you, since you're the first person mentioned it.
Like a journey.
I have what it means for me, but I want to hear about you.
Like traveling, you know, like, yeah, of course. Yeah, that's a good. I don't know where to go with that one. I need to be more specific. You know what I mean? Like you gotta. What do you?
Can I give you my idea what it means?
No, I mean not your idea. I mean if you want me to go a little more in depth, you know, I don't know. I just need some direction for me to expand on that. I guess a journey. Yeah, I mean it is a journey. You go. There's highs and lows. There's adversity. There's things to overcome. You know, obstacles. Yeah. It's like an obstacle course, right? Life, the ultimate obstacle course.
Yes.
Life, the ultimate obstacle course. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true for me.
Yeah. Trying to get through all these ropes right now, you know.
Yeah.
Bear crawling through the mud. Trying to make it, man. Trying to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for me, that's the bottom line consideration when we're talking about the journey through life.
Yeah, it can be tough.
Being kind to myself.
It's a little bit tougher when you're dealing with labels and things, though, like, you know, like the colors we talked about earlier, you know.
Yes.
Some of those labels make it a little bit tougher.
Of course. And my job is to overcome those labels.
Yeah, to go beyond those. You know, that's why, you know, that's why I kind of, you know, I try to go beyond any color or label, you know.
But for me, a label is one thing, and a term to describe what I'm about. It doesn't mean that is all that I am. That's why we say a label versus an idea.
Well, words are powerful, you know what I mean?
Oh, my God.
Whatever you say you are, you are. You know what I'm saying? You can't say I am black one minute, and then, you know, then you're kind of creating two, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Unless you're considering this one thing, and when you get into different, you know, venues, I guess.
Yeah.
You have to be careful.
When I first met you at the gym, there was something about you that seemed interesting, and that's why you're here talking to me right now.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk a little, learning a little more about you and what you're about, and what's going on for you.
Yeah. How's it going so far? Where we at? You know, I liked you too. You know what I mean? You had something about you was kind of, I don't know. Yeah. The sign you had around your neck, man. You got some good energy, I guess I would say. Got a good energy, you know, a good aura. Yeah.
Thank you.
You do any meditating?
Yeah, I haven't for a long time formally. I did TM
What is that?
Transcendental meditation.
Is that like ascension, outer body experiences, or what?
That, if I'm lucky enough, as I'm meditating using that method, there'll be times when I'm so successful at it until I have an out-of-body experience.
Like astral projection?
I don't know. I think I know what that means, but I'm talking about feeling as though I'm someplace else. Not necessarily projecting, but I'm not thinking or doing a lot of work with my brain. I'm feeling my existence in the moment rather than thinking about the past or the future. Yeah.
Have you heard of like sensory deprivation tanks?
Oh my God, yeah.
Have you ever tried one of those?
No. Have you?
I kind of want to try that. No, I've never done it.
Why would you want to do that?
I don't know, for the experience.
Wow.
Or they can allow you to focus on just one thing. You know what I mean? It's kind of, when you take away the sound, all these other senses, right? And all you've got is your mind. And it's a lot of things going on there. So I mean, I think that's the whole gist of it, right? You're even not feeling your body. I think you're floating. I want to say on like some salt water or something like that. I think I don't even know too much about it. I kind of just heard about it, but I like a lot of things that increase your meditative state, if you would say.
Have you tried any substances to help you increase your meditative state? Like you sound like you're from a different generations in the 60s when you were doing psilocybin and LSD and all that stuff.
Well, you said you were doing all that stuff?
No. I dabbled a little bit.
Oh.
But
no,
I didn't go too far out.
Yeah, same here. I dabbled a little bit. I didn't, I don't think I've gone too far out, I wouldn't say, marijuana for medical purposes,
Pot didn't agree with me. A couple of times I tried it and I got goofy in the head, man. I can't even do it.
Yeah, it's strictly medical, right?
The effect is the same, whether you call it medical or pleasure or whatever. I'm talking about the effect.
The effect. Yeah, I mean, it all depends, on how much you're intaking. It's all about moderation. With me, it's like that's what I've learned over the years. Of course, younger, when I was younger, I used to maybe abuse it, as you would say, right? But I mean, it's just overconsumption.
That's a stage.
It's just overconsumption. I mean? It's just unawareness, But once you use it for its purposes, I'm not talking about just smoking. You know what I mean? It's not just smoking, right? It's more than that. There's different types of methods. There's a lot of medical benefits to it.
They're discovering more and more positive benefits from even ingesting it or eating it or cookies or whatever.
Juicing the leaves, man. You'd be surprised.
But I don't want to go near it because I just got goofy in the head a couple of times I tried it. Some people are just hypersensitive to it,
Yeah, it's not for everyone. It's not something I promote or anything like that. Like I said, I wish I could just get some land. If anybody could help me get some land out in the woods, by the river, by a stream, something, email me. Help me build a cabin, help me build some tree houses. Try to get out the mix, man. Like if I could, autonomy, man, is the ultimate goal.
Yeah. What does autonomy mean to you?
It means you don't need to vote because you're autonomous.
But if you
you want me to go into detail? I don't know. This is a whole, me, I guess, what's me? I'll give you it means self-governing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
When I ask you a question about something you said, I want to know what it means for you, so I got a little deeper understanding of where you're coming from when you say that.
Yeah, I just I don't know the viewers, right? I'm not sure what level we're on here, so.
We go to a level that feels good, then we stop.
Try to keep it, try to,
You're doing fine.
not spark too much,
You're doing fine.
raise too many hairs out there.
What's a typical day like for you nowadays?
Nowadays, a typical day?
Yeah.
Work, man, work. Seems like I'm always at work at that gym, right? Every time you're there, I see you, right? Working, man, a lot. I try to dedicate stuff to myself, my free time. I try to dedicate it to my, my growth, my personal growth. I try to wake up a few hours before I go to work, meditate, read, do something, go on a bike ride. I just got a bike, so I try to dedicate my lunch to myself, reading, reading about business, reading about, real estate, how to, just how to grow, how to, how to, be ahead of this transition and in the most positive and most constructive way possible.
What kind of meditation do you do?
There's all different types, usually it's just meditating on love, gratitude, just giving thanks, showing appreciation.
Sure.
Faith and, showing an appreciation for the things I don't have in the physical yet, but, trying to manifest it,
Do you have a set time of 15, 20 minutes or 30 minutes or whatever when you have a meditative session? Or is this...
No, I'm trying to build a routine though. That's not something I need to get into. I need to start setting an alarm. Not really setting an alarm clock. I think I wake up early enough. I just wanna be tuned in with my body. Get tuned in to where I can wake up ahead of time. I guess you know what I'm saying. Be ahead of the game, right? So the day before, like to be thinking about tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. You know what I mean? The day before, right? Planning ahead, and having that structure to where my day's planned out. What irritates me with myself right now is the fact that I wake up, it's like I have this free time and I find myself just drifting or wandering, like so many things that I want to do, and it's like I don't have a plan as far as how to go about doing that, you know what I mean? And it's like I spend a lot of time just like trying to decide what to do, right? So right now I'm in the process of, like I said, writing things down, creating more structure so that I can be as productive as possible, do the most productive things at all times, right? That's, I'm just trying to grow as rapidly as possible right now. Because, I don't know, there's a lot of things going on, and you can either learn or you can get left. So,
Google Transcendental Meditation.
I'll have to check that out. Transcendental
it's
meditation.
Really good. And I should go back to it again, but like you were talking about.
What are the benefits from it? What would you say?
I'm getting more centered and more likely to have those kinds of experiences where I'm experiencing rather than thinking about the future or tomorrow. And it's hard to put into words. But the purpose of all meditation is to become centered and experience oneness. Well put.
So how do you my question is like, how do we go about creating more peace? You know what I mean? That's the ultimate question. Like this.
That's one of the ways.
Like war and things like that. Like, how do we go about ending all this? Like, and living in a world where everyone's, you know what I mean, above the fray, and everyone's evolving and complete growth.
It sounds like a contrary idea, that I am one and unique, and yet I am part of a whole bunch of human beings, and you can look at different subgroups and how I behave and how I think and how I behave to another human being has an effect, however minimal it may be. And I'm obliged to have a positive effect to another human being, and if it doesn't go any farther than that, my life is a success. I want my life to be a success. And at the very end, when people think about me and that cross their minds, they'll think, oh, Don was cool, he was a nice dude. rather than some negative.
Yeah, but that thought, I mean, that thought doesn't matter unless it elicits change, is how I feel. So, I mean, I'd rather not anyone think about me at all. You know what I mean? Unless it's like, oh, I want to be enlightened, you know what I'm saying? Or something like that. Oh, Nichiren, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you think about the man I'm named after, you know what I'm saying? Nichiren is like the Lotus Sutra is about the ultimate enlightenment, the Buddha, you know? That's where my first name comes from, you know?
You chose that name?
Did I choose that name?
Yeah, Nichiren.
The I that's in my father, I guess. You know, the I that I come from.
How did you get that name that you're using now, Nichiren?
That's that name was created in the mind of my father. I guess you can say he said he had that already planned out for his son, you know. I mean, that's
okay.
I'm named after a Buddhist monk. My dad gave me my first name, my mom gave me my middle name. And of course my dad gave me my last name, but so Nichiren Geron Flowers. The enlightened son of God, indigenous to the land like a flower. That's what I like to say, right? So yeah, man, just trying to go about acquiring those rights, you know, those indigenous rights. I think, you know, I believe I'm Native American, like you say, black. I don't think I'm black. I think my ancestors were native to the land. Like I said, I have a grandpa who I just saw in a reunion book at my sister's, who was fair skinned. You know, if you look at it, it looks Caucasian. You know, Calvin Flowers in Oklahoma, you know, had land, you know, like there's things that I want to look into, like do I have like an inheritance waiting for me? Is there things like, you know what I mean? Like I don't know my family well enough to actually go back and attain those things. That's what I think. There's a lot of people in my position, you know, so I feel like once I go and figure things out, you know, there's a lot I can uncover, and that's on both sides of my family, my mom's and my dad's, you know, so. There's a lot of people, like, my mom's maiden name is Richardson, you know, last name. A lot of just traveling from Oklahoma, right? My mom's side of the family and my dad's side of the family all can be traced back to Oklahoma. When you look into natives and everything, right, and everyone migrating, right? I mean, this goes back, you know what I'm saying? This is like the history that I've been looking into, right? So I mean, it's deep, you know. There's you know, this can go so many different ways, and I just feel like we're in a position where there's people out here who mean good, you know, and a lot of things get misconstrued, a lot of things get put out, and a lot of people get damaged, you know what I'm saying, like severely, and aren't able to recover, you know what I'm saying. A lot of things happen to some people that create some real imbalances in their life, and you know, the incarceration rate amongst, like, I could say black people because only black people are incarcerated, you know what I mean?
Seems that way.
I don't mean like only black people, but black people, white people, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, yeah, so.
Disproportionate percentage of the people incarcerated.
But the higher percentage, yeah, it is black, right, of course, right? Just all the things that go on, like profiling, things like that, you know, I've had to endure a lot, you know, in my lifetime, you know, especially dealing with, you know, the public, you know, the people that are supposed to, you know, serve in the public, things like that, officials and things. So, you know, and the thing is, I've learned is forgiveness. You know what I mean? Like it's never anyone's fault. You know, it is what it is. It starts in your mind, right, or the mind of someone. So, if we can get that out of the minds of people and create some unity. Like what I'd like to do, man, I got a lot of ideas, man. I'd like to work with, you know, the police force. Not like I want to be an officer, but I got something that can help them out, you know what I'm saying? A lot of them sit in those cars all day. I got a tool that can, you know what I'm saying, help break up some of that, you know, instability in their hips, you know, increase some of that energy and neuromuscular efficiency, you know, and really, really help with their mechanics. And, you know, it'd be good. I could send it to like all the police force across the United States, you know what I'm saying, abroad, and just really help everyone out, man. That's something big, you know, you public servants, you know. I want to serve the public too in some capacity. You know, I want to create a charity, a nonprofit, do something to get back to the youth. If I could do something out here in Portland, like I just want to help. You know, that's why I'm working at the gym. I do a lot of stuff with like the youth. I've coached football. You know, done a lot of different things. You know, I have a lot of things, you know, that I wanted to do. So that's just where I'm at. You know, just want to grow.
Yeah. You have a steady girlfriend now?
No.
Yeah.
Single. Single, yeah.
There's
yeah,
somebody
so-
going to email you, you watch.
Yeah.
It happens, yeah.
We'll see about that.
So time is running out, so let's see if you have a closing thought, a comment about anything about our discussion tonight or anything else come to mind. Take about 30 seconds or so and look right in that camera and tell the viewers what you want to say to them.
So if I don't have a job for coming down here after this, somebody better email me with a employment position. No, but I mean, he said he'd provide my email if there's any opportunities for growth. Anyone, on the same path or can relate. I'm open. I'm looking for an apartment. So, yeah.
So that's so important.
That's it.
So let us stop, and I've enjoyed having you on and talking with you about things. You're an interesting man.
Yeah, thank you.
We're going to talk some more because I see you at the gym a lot. Well, how about a few public service announcements? We have a minute or so more. You want to watch my shows on the web, Google Don Baham YouTube. There's hundreds of shows there that I've done through the years. And to learn more about the American Civil Liberties Union, the ACLU, go to that site, www.aclu.org, because our civil liberties in this country nowadays are in serious jeopardy. And learn what the ACLU is about so that you can help out. We got to amend the Constitution so that the Constitution says that money is not speech and corporations are not persons. Since that happened, why there's all sorts of money into the political process, and our voices aren't heard at all. I'm a humanist, and I'm a humanist minister. Go to the American Humanist Association .org and learn what humanism is about. It's a wonderful organization, a wonderful way of thinking. And I want to thank you for watching. And remember KFC, not Kentucky Fried Chicken, Dr. Don's KFC. Kind, friendly, and charitable. Be kind. Be friendly and be charitable to you too, Mikey. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.